This is Paul Roberts of Conscious Counseling 101. A lot of us are disappointed about the presidential choice. I'm even more disappointed because of my perspective with Billy Graham's son. He couldn't find an explanation for what had happened other than that God must have intervened. Polls and everything else showed that, that was never going to happen. He came from behind. He overtook everybody. Contrary to what everybody said, he somehow won. What I really am disappointed in is that what he's demonstrating here are things that people through all time, that when they have something they can't understand, they always resort to saying, God had a hand in this. God allowed for this. There's no other way, he says, that he could possibly see that this could have happened. Somebody that's as exposed to God or Jesus' teachings, we should maybe say, for instance, the Gospels. Billy Graham talks a lot about the strength and power of the Gospels. What really disappoints me is the light of Jesus' words and teachings hasn't shone past all that darkness of humankind. And to this man, it hasn't broken through to him, and that disappoints me so much, because here he is speaking to so many, having the power to change minds about God and to bring people to the understanding of what Jesus teaches, what we can learn from life. And what does he do? He says, this man overcame so much that it had to be God intervening. Maybe if you just stepped back and said, it's God allowing, but God intervening sounds like an endorsement. Sounds like there's not a way that he could see that it could possibly be any other way. And so therefore, God is going to bless this man in all the ways that brought him to where he is and all the ways he's going to take us to. And to me, this is so disappointing for a brother who professes to believe in Jesus. To only see that point of view, that's what's so troubling. And the inauguration is just a few days away now, and he's going to go up there in front of all those people and just cement their convictions that this was meant to be. And when we do this, what do? We go forward and we say, if it's meant to be, we're not going to question as much. If God's ordaining it, we're not going to question as much. We're going to go more towards what he leads us to do. Somebody that's so there with the Word and studying it his whole life and seeing it right in front of him can't see that God could have had another plan. This could have been his allowance for the wrong road to be taken. When Jesus was here, he was very irritated when people asked for a miraculous sign, and he said, you don't deserve it. He said that these people that were asking, they don't deserve it, they were wicked and perverse, and that's why they can't see, and they have to have this in order for their faith to be bolstered. He said, if you would follow me and understand what I'm teaching you and what I'm showing you, you would clearly see, just like a farmer would see the sky become red and know that it's about to rain. You'd be able to see the signs coming. You may not know the exact time, but you know that the signs are coming. Now, if we know that Jesus allows for this, we know the Heavenly Father allows for this, then obviously things that are going to come that aren't desired, like the end times, are going to come. So why does everything that happens have to be seen by somebody like this as God's endorsing it? God had a hand in it. Why can't we see that the end times aren't caused by God? Why can't we see that that's not his desire? That's not what the Creator wants. Why can't we see that it's allowed? It was allowed when Jesus was there. It was allowed. The sky was allowed to be red and used as an example. And that's how we're to see the end times coming. It's allowed. It's not stopped. If it was going to be stopped, he wouldn't talk about recognizing it. He would have talked about how to prevent it. He talked about recognizing it. So why is this man of God, a studier of Jesus' words, not recognizing it? Why is he not seeing that God just allowing it, perhaps? Why does it have to be a divine hand of God? Why is he giving this man so much credit that hasn't kept words? He's criticized and ridiculed so many. He thrives on power and what he has as it's his sign that he's smart and blessed and deserving. Why can't those things be because he's oppressed his fellow man? Why can't those things go because he's found a way to get around other people and accelerate himself to the top? Why can't those things be because he didn't follow greater ambitions, but he followed that which was obviously necessary for his desires to be given to him on this earth? Even though Jesus talks about don't store your riches and treasures up on this earth, where rust and moth can destroy and thieves and robbers can break in and steal. Instead, store your treasures up in heaven, where they're safe and they're valuable, because that's where your heart will then be. Well, why can't this man of God come to grips and say that God allowed this to happen, but doesn't necessarily want it to happen? Perhaps a natural purging process is going to happen through this new president and the ways that we're all going to go down this road that he wants us to go down. More on questioning. Is the idea that if he brings prosperity and wealth at any other cost, that's good? Those are the things that God says are good? What about all his other creation in all the other countries that will have to serve us, and all the negotiations and deals to block them out and make sure that our company goes up while whatever happens to them happens? What about those? They're all God's creatures too. I just wanted to think that Billy Graham had his heart right, and that his children would be brought up to see these things too. How could it be that this man of God was taught by his father and he doesn't see the validity of the Jesus' teachings, to the point where he believes that God had a hand in this election and he can't see it another way, and that's what he chooses to share. That's what his words choose to be, to share with the world. So disappointing. What do you think? I try not to offer solutions necessarily. I try to bring people in and help them to see that they are the solution. Jesus shows us through his teachings what solutions are necessary and valid and worthwhile. Don't just take it as this was supposed to be and just go blindly into oblivion like a follower. If you're going to be a follower, follow something worthy, greater than man can bestow. Don't put your faith in a father. Don't even put your faith in what I'm saying about this even. This is Jesus. We don't even know he exists. We don't even know God exists, right? Don't go following man and letting your heart be guided by that. Then otherwise, if the Creator had other means for you to absorb and to come to see more, that would be harder for you to find. And this is my concern and why I'm expressing it today. Paul Roberts, Counselor's Counseling 101. Talk with me.